Today I want to take a look at an SSD, and I have been actually staying away from SSD because I wanted the technology to mature, and a few other reasons as well. One of them is if something goes bad with your SSD, trying to get your information back is not going to be the same as using a hard drive. On a bad hard drive, sometimes they can turn back on for a moment or two, and then you're able to maybe get some of your data back. With something like this, if your chip is bad, then you pretty much have the creek. However, the other aspect has been pricing. They still have a little ways to go in terms of pricing, I think. But this one was on sale at CDW, so I thought I'd give it a chance because it's actually made by Edge, which is a company in Texas, I believe. So you get support for the whole SSD from the United States, and it's actually a 500 gigabyte hard drive SSD, which is what I wanted because normally after you install all the programs and things like that, I noticed that I was at the level of 256, so I was pretty much filling that up pretty quick. So the minimum I usually get is a 500 gigabyte for an OS. On a Linux system you may get away with something less, since they don't use too much space anyways, if you're not using too many things on that, but it varies. And the reason I wanted to look at these specific one, as you can see, hmemory.com, is because of the US support. It has a 5-year warranty, and I wanted to give them a try. And I like CDW. I've used them before at a company, and I really like their support. So I want to give them a try since this was on sale. And let's take a look at what we get here. This is basically what I got in the box. So one thing that I should note from the beginning here, it says it's designed in Texas, made in Mexico. Nothing wrong with that. That was a surprise. I thought they made them here, but it's made in Mexico. Anyway, and let's take a look. And since everything is in the US, in Texas, I didn't see anything mentioned about Mexico, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And let's take a look at what's inside here, if there's anything. It says exceptional speed and performance. Get this out of the way. Includes a full complement of for performance and stability enhancing features, extreme durability, no moving parts, improved energy efficiency per transaction. Edge offers various SSD install kits designed to make upgrading to an SSD simple, and that's pretty much all that you get on this. So designed in Texas, TAA compliant, and that's pretty much all I see, which is what you normally see on a lot of the SSD packaging. So it's assembled in Mexico, and not actually made in Mexico. It's a 500 gigabyte. It's an SE847. It is an MLC SSD, which is the other reason I wanted to get this particular model. And as you can see here, it's everything looks pretty good physically. You got all your pins here. I'm looking at the actual drive since this is the first time I take it out, so I apologize if you can't see everything on the camera, but I think this should come out pretty well. So there's not much to it. It's just a couple of screws here, 2 here. That's pretty much it to open it up, but I'm not gonna do that. And that's pretty much what you get. First I thought the connector was kind of crooked here, but no, they're not. They look fine. And so, well, there you go. This is your CDW specific model, or I should say, this is the model that's made for CDW, and so that's where you can get these and a couple others that they make. But I wanted to take a closer look at something like this since I haven't used one yet, and a couple other things to keep in mind. And the reason I also been hesitant is because most people just think they can swap the SSD on a computer and, you know, it'll be all happy for as long as you have it, and that's not the case. You really need to tweak the operating system to make sure that it doesn't do the same things that it does to a platter hard drive, because again, you're dealing with chips on this, so you need to tweak that in order to make sure that your SSD will last a little longer. And what else? So that's the other thing. Make sure you check the manufacturer for information on your specific SSD, because there is some more information out there, which is what I was reading before, just to make sure I don't kill this without, you know, knowing what I should tweak and kind of pay attention to that. Other than that, you know, those are the only things that have kept me from getting one, and of course the pricing as well. But I also needed a couple other hard drives for NAS, and I figured, well, this is the one that was on special now, so I'll just get this and update my system, since I think it's been acting up a little bit. But the other thing I want to mention, when you use an SSD, even though you get the cloning program, I don't recommend doing that. When you get an SSD on a brand new system, just go ahead and start fresh. Don't clone anything. Usually that just, it's a little more work because you have to install other stuff, but that usually will help you keep all those problems out of the new system and just start fresh. With that in mind, well, that's a look at your Edge SSD SE847 from CDW, and then I'll see if I can update anything that I see on it, or see how it goes with it.